What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts and along with Greg said it on this Thursday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Hey, tonight broadcast is brought to you by Beautiful Blitz Creation, Christy Robinson. Phone numbers right there on the I'm strolling at the bottom of the screen and also right here on my platform 334-524-3469. If you would like a Colorado shirt, you can see she got a style one, style two, and the white one is style three. All you got to do is go over there in my community section, and there's a link right there. You can, well, all the information is right there on that link. All you got to do is just click on that link. Also, you can go over there on my YouTube page. My YouTube page, BWatts0, and it's in my bio. That's all you got to do. All right. Hey, got a good show lined up for you tonight. With Greg said it. Want to thank everybody who watched the show on last night. I did a special with Greg said it, Stephen Woodland, and JR. Got a lot of feedback on that when the show went off. Got about 6 emails. Y'all let me know how well y'all enjoyed the show. And I appreciate y'all for your feedback and want to thank those guys for joining me. Also, like I say, got a good show tonight. You know how Greg do it. So right now, what we'll do, we'll uh we'll bring up Greg. Supposed to have a guest tonight. Big Tiger supposed to show up tonight sometime. But we'll see. All right. You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts Entertainment. I'm your host, Bernard Watt.
We should.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, big dog? How was your
Nothing
day, bro?
moving right along. We could have been twin day, but I guess you want to get a different look. I
Say what
wanted
down?
yesterday. We could have been twin day.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we could have been twins.
I didn't turn it. Hold on for a minute. Oh, wait, calling me when I'm home. Hey, I don't have to be home, sure. But yeah. So you know, I was gonna ask you something before we start. You know, I guess I asked you that off there. But getting ready for Arizona. It's a big matchup, man. I think it's a must. I think it's a must win game to me. You ask me. If they want to continue to be in the hunt for the Big 12 championship, and they still gonna need a little help, I think, to get in there and to win it. Want to say hello to everybody who participating in the chat so far. Thank y'all for your comments. I see you. It's Johnson, Tim. Appreciate y'all. Who else we got? Brian, what's up, Brian? Elena, Nayo, what's going on? SB, I got your email. SB, I got your email. Miss Barbara Fox, how you doing? Hey, Fox, I ain't seen you in a while. Doing all right? All right, appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Big dog, like I said, they got a big game, man. I think it's a must win game, bro. So against Arizona. But when you look back at the game they played against Kansas State, I think it's some things they gonna have to tighten up on, especially on that on the defensive side. I think it's very important for them to stop the run. I don't know what kind of changes they're gonna do. And I would like them to run the ball a little bit more. And you can hear, I think I had the video of Pat Sherman, what he was saying. You ever see that video?
I don't see a lot of stuff.
Let me see if I can find the right quick stuff he was saying. Here you go right here.
Because we got 3 days to get the run game right, and we're going to do it at all costs. We can't win a game the way we need to win a game until we get out of our own way and run the damn ball. Look. So lineman, you got to move your feet and use your hands. I'm tired of seeing hands down by your nuts. Get your hands up and put your hands on guys, right? Move your feet and use your hands. Running backs, be disciplined with your path. Quit cutting back so fast, because the second level just falls back and tackles you. Press it. If we're trying to run outside zone, try to run outside. Even if it looks like it's not going to happen, then you can cut up. And then quarterbacks, we've got to do a better job of carrying out our fakes. That all contains it. Running back, our receivers, keep pressing on the perimeter. Keep blocking your guys. Just hit somebody and knock them back. All right? Because once we start doing that, we can throw the ball all over the yard. Right? But we got to make yards on the run to help make the rest of that stuff go. So it's less about these dudes.
Yeah, that's a good speech, but it's about the commitment to me. He the play caller. He can dictate if they gonna run the ball or not. All he gotta do is call the play. What do you think about it?
Well, actually, what he said was the opposite of what we just saw happen last week. With their running back let the defense overcommit, and then he cut back all over them. He's telling them not to cut back and keep this press through it, and that's what they've been actually doing. They running the back of the people when the hole not there, but it's like the Red Sea right next to them, and they hardly cut back. So that's what we say. You say they running through the wrong hole. What we really be saying is they're not taking advantage of the holes that's there. So they just run into the back of somebody and get 1-2 yards when it's like daylight right here. So they're not being patient and taking what they can get. So really, what he just said really contradicts what they need to do, and that's exactly the Giddens didn't do that. He actually took what he got. So, see, you was there. He just took where they over pursued. He took where a D lineman got pushed out of a hole, or them sit this assignment, or a linebacker deciding to run up the butt of his own player or go play patty cake, and he took whatever he got. He didn't necessarily run through the holes that was there. He didn't necessarily run through the hole that was called. Right. And if you look at any running back that CU struggled with, that's how they ran the ball all the way back to North Dakota State in that first half. The running backs just took what the linebackers wasn't this one. They took advantage of the backside pursuit not being there, or just them not fitting the holes correctly. And that's what you do when a linebacker is either over pursuing a play or doing this Stevie Wonder blind attack and not read. Because you shouldn't be hitting the hole if the man ain't there. So why are you already on the line of scrimmage? See, nobody want to have that conversation. Why is the linebacker already at the line of scrimmage and the running back ain't there? So either you guessing, you gambling. So if I am the running back and I see the linebacker make a commitment, he just told me what I need to do.
Right.
Oh, you don't commit it here. Your front side will commit it here. You don't commit it here. The back side wide open. Or you commit here, and I was gonna run there, but I'm gonna run here. And now you reaching. So running back is the one who's supposed to be reading what the linebacker do. Really, it's a chess game because really both reading each other. The linebacker is supposed to be reading. I'm gonna make the running back make the decision first, and then the running back is hoping the linebacker make the decision first. You notice when we used to do them Oklahoma drills. See, that's why they don't know what we're talking about. When you used to do those Oklahoma drills, and you had one lineman, one linebacker, one safety, one running back. You had a running back and maybe a receiver out there blocking or something like that, or you just have just the linebacker and the lineman and the lineman and the running back and the quarterback. And all guess what that drill taught you behind? You had a dummy over here, and that linebacker job. The coach stood behind the linebacker. Wow. The coach stood behind the linebacker and said, "Tell the running back which way to go." It was the linebacker job not to be a dummy and just run where he thought he want to go. He had to read where the running back was going. Right?
Right.
If he
You're right.
left and the running back running right, what is this? Russian roulette? No, you chop your feet or whatever you do, and you wait. And once you see that running back commit, then you commit that way. But you don't overcommit because he can cut back, and that happened too. Especially if that D lineman get pushed back on you or whatever. So you gotta look at that was the point of those drills.
Right.
And then sometimes they'll add a fullback in there with it and add a safety back there. And you know, and now you're really dealing with teaching the linebacker how to take on that block and that safety fitting in after that, after that linebacker.
Right.
Those drills have a purpose. And I hear people, I'm thinking about some things that people saying, and you made it. This is a must win. Like I said yesterday, the problem was. The reality was people didn't want to admit last week was a must win. Well,
it was a must win to me.
It was a must win as you, but not really. I heard people say it, so it's like it's like it ain't a theory. It's like I've heard people, content creators, and people say, well, it's good if they win, but it's a must win for Kansas State. That's a dangerous situation when you go against a team who feel like they must win and you don't, because the reality is. They was about to have their second loss in the conference, and you was about to have none.
Right.
Y'all both have one, but they got the head-to-head over you.
There you go.
They got a better record because they only lost a conference game. They lost no non-conference games. So that's why they ranked too.
Yeah, I know.
All that by giving them their second loss, and both of them would have been in the conference. So the reality is we're not putting the pressure on CU. First of all, CU should have put the pressure on itself, because if you look at it, if anybody putting pressure on CU, it's BYU and Iowa State.
Right.
Because they undefeated. And Texas Tech, they undefeated. They the one putting pressure on CU, not us. Because the longer they stay undefeated, so it goes back to what I said yesterday and what I asked y'all. What's really the goal here? Because that's the problem when people not like-minded and they're on different pages, but they claim they won and united. That's the biggest problem. Because your goals for CU ain't my goals. My standards for CU ain't let's leave them alone. As long as they have a winning season, that's better than 4-8. That's your standards. That's not the standard for a top 5 pick quarterback on the same team with a top 5 pick DB receiver. And all, BJ Green was our first team all conference edge rusher. That's not a standard for that type of team. It's not a standard for all those so-called NFL potential players on the team. You don't have that many people on one team that has that talent and say it's all right if they just go 500. No, 500 is for a mediocre team who you're glad to go 500 with, because you're like, you know what? As long as we win, because I know we ain't got the talent. But that's not the case. You do have the talent. You do have the talent. The talent that you have fits a team that should be fighting for the conference title. Now, who set the tone for the conference title? The teams who winning, not your sorry behind, not the people who ain't on the field. We don't set the standard. I mean, we don't set the pressure on CU.
Right.
The pressure was set by the other people they got to compete with to get to the title. If everybody was losing 1 or 2 games, then you can be sorry and say, I can afford to lose 1 or 2 games. But that's not the case. You got 4-0 teams.
Yep.
And you looking at their schedule. If you looked at their schedule, they can kind of cruise through this thing unless they just go and just get silly. So I looked at something, because I looked at all the chess pieces like a true chess master. Chess masters always 20 moves ahead of you. That's the people who still playing checkers. When you look at it, this is what gotta happen. This is one scenario and probably the only scenario. If you look at it, this is what's gotta happen for CU. CU gotta win out. So you say it's a must-win game. Every game going forward is a must-win game.
Right.
Right? Not theoretically, actually.
I do. Yeah, if they want to win the Big 12, actually.
Unless you just want to go 500. That's what I'm saying.
No, man, not me.
Just want to go to a bowl game.
My prediction was where we start with 10-2, and we're gonna win the Big 12 conference and get into that playoff so we can play another team in the SEC or the Big Ten to measure them to see
So
where
this what's
they
gonna
at
happen.
and what they need to do. Go ahead with
This
your
what's gonna happen. See, you got to win out.
okay.
Texas Tech gonna have to beat Iowa State, which by default, if you win out, you're in a better position because you got to beat Texas Tech. So that's included in your win out.
Okay.
Texas Tech gonna have to beat Iowa State, and then Iowa State gonna have to beat KSU. I think they play the last game. That's it. That's the situation you just put yourself. Is that you know why it's that tight? Because two of the teams I just listed undefeated right now.
And BYU.
Right, I said two of the teams I just listed.
Right.
Gotta be because I'm banking on BRU go all the way through, and you have to see them in the conference. So everybody ain't on the freaking list. Because you look at their schedule.
Okay.
You look at who they playing, Houston and people like that. So you gotta see that's why you gotta begin with the end in mind. You can't go into a game not sober. You can't go into a game. I don't know what all them analysts doing, but if I was an analyst, I would just be analyzing. I'll be analyzing. Somebody need to be analyzing. This is our path to where we're going. The problem is you ain't defined the path. You defined the path to a bowl game. And when you only shoot at a bowl game, you can't, I don't care what was said, yes, you can't regroup. You can't shoot low. And it's all right, let's climb higher. Somebody be like, no, I don't did all this climb to get here. Now you tell me go higher. I can tell you to climb high. And if you don't make it, you land here. But I can't shoot you here. And it's all right, let's go up. That ain't how that works. That ain't how momentum works. A lot of people yesterday was arguing, you got to shoot for one, get one first. Well, guess what? If you shoot high, you get all of it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I said, I ain't say you got to beat Texas Tech first. I said you win out and other things happen. That Texas Tech is included in that. It's included in that. So the reality is this. People said it. We're at a point now where you was in the driver's seat. You weren't the only one in the driver's seat. You was in one of them like student driver seat where you got a steering wheel on both sides, and might have had one in the back seat, like one of them go-karts or something. You know, at the circus where everybody got a wheel. Now, some of them might be fake. You know, like you get the kids in a little grocery cart and they both got a wheel. Ain't none of y'all driving, but y'all got a wheel. That's what it was like when everybody was undefeated. They all technically had a wheel because let's be real. We knew that it was early. We knew it was early. We knew it was what, game 3 of the conference.
Right.
And we know it is far from over. It's far from over as an undefeated team that you could lose some games. But once you go to start losing 1 or 2 games, you pretty much took yourself out of the conversation. Now you sitting back watching the people who still undefeated because they can afford to lose a game later, not early. But if you lose it early, now you're in a situation where CU is. You gotta win out. You have no room for error. It's like using all your timeouts in the first quarter. What they tell you to do? Keep your timeouts. You might need them, at the end of the game, at the end of the quarter. But when you use all your timeouts, now you banking on some turnovers and some miraculous stuff. We basically use our timeouts. So now you got to dominate and you got to not make mistakes because you got no timeouts. Texas Tech got 2 timeouts. Iowa State got 2 timeouts. BYU got 2 timeouts. And you playing a team like Arizona who don't lost 3 of their last 3 games. Nobody talking about that. They lost a conference game. They won a conference game. And then not maybe 3 out of 4 they game. And they lost to they beat Utah, but they lost to BYU just this past week. And before that, I didn't know they lost to Texas Tech, close game. So Texas Tech beat Arizona. So Arizona is already out of it. They already don't lost 2 games. So they playing the role of the spoiler. And I don't think they can spoil daytime CU. They playing daytime CU. They played nighttime CU last year. Daytime CU, y'all gonna get y'all wish. I hope we look like UCF. Well, UCF was at 3:00 in the daytime. They moved it back a little bit, but
Yeah.
So We gonna have a different team, and y'all gonna say, "Well, did you watch film and Shane Kumar y'all together?" No, they just played at daytime. That's all. They just played at daytime. It was alert. It was awake. It was fresh. You know, that's anybody, and only fool would say that's anybody. You know, if you fresh, you gonna be different than when you kind of like been sitting around all day. That's just how that works. And some people perform better. Some people can work night jobs. Some people can work, you know, the graveyard shift, and some people can't. I can't work no graveyard shift. BWatts might can.
No,
So
I can't either.
that's
Yeah.
for the town to say the other team did all right. Well, they ain't the same people. Clearly, look at the record. Look at the record. I did it last night. Look at the record. They don't do well with it. It's part of how they're wired and how they're programmed.
Right.
Like it just
I mean,
shows
you got a good point. I looked at it last night when we got off. I said, Greg got a point.
But look at well off. They would just had the little boy up there. He don't miss school, and they're gonna take him to school. They going to school at 12 o'clock. They're telling you they were practicing at 10 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at like you use your brain and common sense. They giving you the content. And it's like we looking at it, them people who hating looking at it, and they smart enough and we ain't. They say, let's keep putting them at night every chance we get. We know science, we know biology.
Yeah.
So that's where we at. But daytime CU, everybody know that. Look what they did in Nebraska last year. That was daytime.
Yeah. You right. What's up, Big Ty?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Doctor? How you doing?
Hey, I'm cool, man. I had to jump off my show to come over here, man. Sorry I went a little longer, man. You know, when you try to get off.
Hey, I understand how it's going. We were just talking about Colorado and the things that went on last game, and Greg was making a point by them playing at night. He think they need to practice at night so their body can adjust to the nighttime. Because if you look at it, look like NCAA trying to put Prime in a position so they can't win by. And if you look at their history so far this year, every game don't play at night, they don't lose, and the ones that don't play in the daytime, they don't win. So what? I'll let Greg explain it to you, then you rebut it. See what he got to say. Go ahead, Greg.
All right.
Well, it's not this year. It's really last year. Our most horrible games last year was played at 10:15.
That's true.
They was Friday nights and stuff like that. You know, you look at Stanford. We went night. We was halfway through the game. We just went night, and they just ran us down, and we just zombie our way through there. And you know when you night when your coaches and your fans sit in the stands at the end of the game, like, is it over? And we almost did that against Baylor. You know, when Baylor fumbled the ball in the end zone, even Coach Brown was like, "What is the rules?" Like, you have more brain farts when you like not as alert. And see, when you're conditioned and trained to be at peak performance at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, day in, day out, day in, day out, and then somebody give you 6 out of your 8 games at night. Nobody ain't doing that by mistake.
You're right.
There gotta be a record. Like, how many teams you know? I don't care how many primetime calls. Like I told BWatts know he was asleep. He was asleep with the other 30.
I fell asleep on the last game.
He ain't the only one. It was people in the stadium sleep. I had some people sitting next to me saying, we're gonna go watch the rest of the game in the hotel at halftime. All right. So it's like you can miss me with the whole we giving them the best seat in the house to watch 5 million people, 7 million watching. They watching them sleep because you got half of the country in the bed Saturday night at midnight. They got to go to church and all that. Like, miss me with that. If you wanted Coach Prime to be on TV in prime time, his jump would have started no later than 7 or even 8 o'clock Eastern.
That's true. That's true.
What you think about that, Ty? What you think about that? What Greg talking about?
And that make a lot of sense. That 8 o'clock is the latest they should start. When I saw that 10 o'clock, I was like, man, this don't make any sense. Like, that's too late. That's too late.
So when you look at
it again already for next week, and it's like I'm sitting here like, and then, you know, we've been talking about it. So it ain't like we just started talking about it. We've been talking about this, and then to see they hurry up, man, because they not listening no times. They wait until like the week of the game to say, okay, we're gonna let them play at this time, and it's like when you start doing the statistics of it, you start saying 6 out of 8 games. Who does that in college at any level outside of high school?
But two things I will say though, they are 3 hours behind us. So it's for them, that's 8 o'clock.
Right.
2 hours behind us.
They mountain time. They only 2 hours behind us.
Yeah, they 2 hours.
Or 2 hours. Okay.
The West Coast is 3 hours behind us, and we don't play no West Coast teams. So that excuse like that's last year. We don't play Stanford. We don't play Oregon State. We're not playing no West Coast teams. Most of our teams are from Mountain and over, and we still playing 10 o'clock games.
Yeah. Now, a 10 o'clock game for them, that's a for them that's an 8 o'clock game.
8 o'clock.
That's really prime time for West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I will say about that. Prime has already said he like playing the early games. He said it at Jackson. So with him saying that, it seems like this year try to do something. But must see TV does come on late. I will say that.
But no, because Bama don't play 10 o'clock games.
But they play a lot
of Georgia.
I mean,
they don't play.
But they play a lot of 8 o'clock games though.
Yeah, that's prime time. 10 to 15, that's sleep time.
Yeah. But I'm saying for them, for their
they trying to satisfy. I think they trying to satisfy them out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But West Coast don't. But we not playing a West Coast team. We not on the West Coast.
But they are.
Who?
Colorado is.
No, Colorado's in Mountain.
At 2 hours. That's why I'm saying they putting it back at 2 hours for them.
But what I'm saying is, if that was the case, you got to think about it. I was at the game, 8 o'clock. That's Mountain time, 8 o'clock.
Right.
The crowd will sleep by 10. The game they end to midnight.
Yeah, I understand.
Come on now, we gonna.
We don't talk about it for a whole week. I understand.
I'm just saying, like it ain't benefiting nobody there. Nobody wanted to wait all day to go to an 8 o'clock game. It's not.
But
cute.
Colorado getting that check, Greg.
They gonna get the check if they play at 1 o'clock in the day, like they did last year, when the first few games was on Big Noon.
But I think them games was already. I ain't gonna say that.
All their games gonna sell out because people watching it. The difference is when you play at 10, the TV watching the people. They may got the viewers, but who actually watching? Because you nodding. You 1 o'clock over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My folks was trying to watch the game. I know. And I didn't get back to my hotel after 1:30 to go to a football game. And I'm there. That's not, it's 3 o'clock on the East Coast. So I'm getting back to the hotel at 1:30 to watch a football game. Like, that makes no sense when that game could have easily started at 6, been done at 10.
Yeah. They got to fix that, but
it would have been 8 o'clock on the East Coast. That would have been a good time.
Right.
Yeah. But but look at TV though, now they the late show, like the Lakers. They the late show, so it ain't nothing else on but Colorado, so everybody gonna watch it.
But the TV was watching the people.
But that's the account.
BWatts can tell you.
Hey, look, man. You won the argument, man. I agree with you. But that ain't what they going off, bro. They going off. They know Colorado is out there in that West. Out there in the mountain time. They the only team they got to put there to make that TV revenue. Because Alabama fans is down here in the South.
Hey, BWatts.
I'm just going by. It ain't me, Greg.
No, BWatts, let's be real now. You just told me that Colorado got to go in the late night slot when you just admitted that that's prime time for West Coast. They got a whole slew of West Coast teams that they can put in that one slot.
Nobody want to watch
out there, USC out there, Oregon out there. All them teams can play in that prime time slot who's actually in the Pacific time zone.
But tell me this, Greg. If Oregon play, USC play at 10 o'clock, which one of them teams the East Coast gonna turn on to see?
But we're not worrying about the East Coast. Remember, we talking about prime time for the West Coast.
Well, no, the TV companies, they want to get them all. They want to get
right.
East
But
Coast.
if Oregon played that game, who they played? That was a big game this week. Oregon versus you can't tell me Oregon versus Ohio couldn't have played at 10 o'clock time.
Now, that's true. That's true.
And it would have been prime time, and it would have been fitting because at least one of their teams is not sleep. And Ohio, I think, is Central. So you ain't worrying about the East. That could have been the prime. Is that such a great time? That's such a prime time. Y'all selling us this prime time. Since when 10-15 been a prime time slot? It's never been a prime time slot.
10-15 is not. But Colorado is must-see TV. So a lot of times in 10-15 games, they don't get a lot of views.
Oregon would have got it. They were two ranked teams was playing each other. And guess when they played? They know that Oregon and that Ohio State, it was fair to them play at the daytime. Yeah. They played before Colorado. Yeah. They had the nice sun out. And they on the West Coast.
That's true.
It's like we got to be real. It's a whole bunch of teams on that West Coast that can fill in that 10-15 slot. Like I said, they got USC out there. They got Oregon State, Washington State, Stanford. We can go all the way down the list of some teams that can fit that one little slot and it wouldn't hurt nobody because they're actually out there on that coast. And again,
I agree with you, man. I mean, ain't that not good about it?
So how do we justify it happening 2-3 times in a row?
How I justify it is they know Colorado gonna always bring a crowd no matter what time slot they get,
and they gonna bring an L according to statistics.
Hey,
so who cares about money if they can bring you L's?
No, hold on. The companies care about the money.
No. Colorado say they want to win. So at some point, somebody got to say, you know what? I know Coach Prime want to say it. I know somebody want to. First of all, people dead wrong. They say the schedule already set. That's not true. They set these schedules right before the game. Everybody got TBAs on it. And like, go look at the schedule. The TBAs. No times is set. They set it. They just set Colorado time yesterday, day before, for Arizona. We halfway through the schedule and they just said it. So, and I put a bet on the line. So everybody like to bet. I bet you that Colorado will get more views playing at 8 o'clock than they would at 10.
They would, but the TV company didn't have that spot available for them.
They do have a slot available. They choose the slots to put them in. They can put them there just like anybody else. Because according to y'all, Colorado will get more views anyway.
But the other team would have took their spot they wouldn't have got the revenue they wanted, Greg.
No, but the team that take their spot got to be a West Coast team. That time slot was only created for a West Coast team. It was never created for East Coast or Central. It was always created for those teams who are already out there at that time of night. It was never created for nobody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right. So, Big Ty, what happened to Colorado against Kansas State, Big Dog? I seen your breakdown. I think Monday night I watched you. You did a 15-minute, and you were showing some pictures. I was telling Greg about it last night. I said, man, I didn't look at it like this. Man, it looked like they were holding block bullet. They were, man, all kind of stuff going on in that breakdown you were doing. I would have never known, man.
So, called into my show, and y'all excuse me if my internet go out. I'm out here on my ranch, but so my service bad out here. But a caller called into my show. He said, we have not got a holding call the whole year. Our defensive lineman, we have not got a holding call the whole year. And I haven't seen it. Have y'all seen it?
That's just one of my other conspiracies.
Greg's been saying that all along. So I'm
glad you said that because all off season, BWatts early, like in the spring, I said, what it's going to take for us to beat these refs this year? And everybody, y'all saying about the ref. And I said, well, it's going to take somebody going to have to step up and document this stuff and put it out front. We can't just keep blowing it off and talking over it. We got to call them. We got to put some compilations together, just like you did. We got to put some compilations like how that boy ran through Will Shepherd's chest on the fourth down. And he did it intentionally because he said his coach probably told him, whatever you do, don't get beat deep. And before he let Will Shepherd, he just went into Bobby Boucher waterboy mode and ran through his chest. And when he got up and his teammate, they didn't celebrate because they knew it was a pass. They stood there like the fans. They were like,
Yeah,
were looking
yeah,
at that
yeah.
flag. He
Yeah,
ran through his chest. He wasn't
yeah.
fighting for the ball. He didn't try to turn around. He saw Will Shepherd go up. He said, "Oh no!" And ran
That's
through
what
it.
he supposed to did. He what he supposed to did.
But
That's
what the
what
referee
Preston
supposed to
Hard should
did,
have did when they dropped that bomb on him.
but what the referee supposed to did, who was standing right behind him,
Throw the flag.
looking right
Yeah,
at it, he
I'm
almost
saying
gave him
that.
a
Yeah,
slap.
he did do it now.
He just still like this. Like they got them earpieces in their ear. I know. And they saying because sometimes they throw the flag like 5 minutes after the play, and they be
Yeah.
like, "Do I throw it? Hold on. All right, go ahead and throw it." And then sometimes they be like, "Should I throw it? No. And then it'd be some weird stuff after the play. Like when you watch the game, it'd be a delayed response to throwing some of them flags. It's almost like they got to talk it through. Like they got to look at some algorithms or something.
Now the only thing I say is that they didn't throw a flag on this either. On the touchdown before that with Hodge. Hodge kind of he passed interference to that guy, but he kind of let him go. And the referees, they let it go. They ain't calling that.
But he also let go Draylon Miller when he went across the middle and the slow motion showed his arm wrapped around his back. The guy had his arm. He tried to catch it with one hand, and the referee knew, hey, he dropped the ball. And the referee knew that because he only had one arm.
Yeah.
Right.
So he like this catching the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That happened before. Do you know why? Because they refused to give Colorado the first down because they knew what was about to happen. They had 2 chances to call pass interference. And both of them when they gave them the first down, and Colorado had too much time on that clock, and they weren't finna risk let Shador, because Shador probably would have scored.
But I'm gonna say
he's got the field goal.
I'm gonna say this right here. We lost that game. I'm gonna tell you how we lost that game. And this is the reason why Tom Brady done won more Super Bowls than anybody else. Especially why Tom Brady won way more Super Bowls than Peyton Manning.
He ran the ball. He had a run back and they ran the ball.
There we go. When we had that ball before LeJohntay scored to put us up, we had the ball. It was 2nd and 4. I think we was on like the 14 or something like that. We could have ran the ball 2 times and got a first down. We had 4 yards to go. Could have ran the ball 2 times, got a first down. Now we had 4 more downs to milk that clock. At least 2 more downs. We could have ran at least 2 minutes off that clock. We scored real fast, get him the ball back with 3 minutes and something to go. 3 minutes and 7 seconds back to go. That's too much time. Now we got to run the ball to run that clock out.
You know why they do that?
Why?
One, the obvious. They say it all the time. They don't trust the run. 2, they was more worried about scoring. They didn't have the faith they could score. Because the only way you're going to run time out the clock is if you know you're going to score. See, you got to think about it.
Yeah.
They had to score. The field goal wouldn't have done it. So you got to think about it. They were like Shador did that in the he done that a lot, really. He done it at Jackson State, the Celebration Bowl. They've done that a lot where they score too fast at the end of the game versus taking the clock, because it's almost as if they more ready to get that pressure off of them and say, "Whoo, we scored." Than to think, "Oh, I know we gonna score, so we gonna waste time." They don't want to waste time because they don't have so many times they got down there and didn't score. So they like, we just gotta hurry and prove we can score, especially in a game where you were struggling to score most of the game. Like we seen Nebraska, they got in the red zone 3 times out of 4 and didn't get nothing. Everybody talk about Nebraska blew them away, but they was in the red zone 3 times and couldn't score, couldn't get a field goal, couldn't do nothing. So when you got that in your head, you like, forget that crap. We just gonna go ahead and score. Let's run it back. Since we doing math, right? Colorado scored and went up by 4. What would a field goal been for them?
Well, it don't have to be
came up to 1 point, right? They would have came up 1 point short with a field goal.
Right.
It don't have to be a field goal. When they hiked the ball, they still had 14 seconds on the clock. It was 2nd down. Like we going too fast. That's the same reason why the look at this right here. You remember we lost the game last year? We was up by 29. The Falcons did the same thing in the Super Bowl. You run the ball so fast. You run the ball. Both of them. They had a quarterback, Matty Ice. They putting the ball in his hands. Same thing what happened with Seattle on the 1 yard line. They put the ball in Russell Wilson's hands. You have to run the ball. It ain't no way around it. You got to run the ball.
So we playing checkers, and and not chess, basically. What you
Exactly.
say?
Time management.
It's bigger than time management, because what he's saying is, yeah, time is a factor, but he also talking about a philosophy, a strategy. It got to be part of your strategy before it be part of time management. It got to be part of your philosophy. His philosophy is, I'm gonna put you in a bad position time wise, but I'm also putting you in a situation where I'm putting you in a pressure situation. Because yeah, they would have got the ball back maybe with a minute and 30 to 2 minutes left versus 3 minutes or something. And that's a pressure situation, especially for a quarterback who haven't been throwing the ball. But that also, I'm gonna ask you this, Tiger, that also would have been a situation where on the other side we playing checkers, not chess. Because why weren't we in a semi-prevent? Because you got to think about it. If a field goal don't win the game, that means I pretty much got to keep everything in front of me. Even though it's not a Hail Mary situation, it is, because you got to score. Even though the clock doesn't show it's a Hail Mary situation, the situation is a Hail Mary situation, because as long as I keep you to a field goal or less, it do you no good. So I know you got to put the ball in the end zone. So if anything I got to do, I got to protect the end zone, not the first down. I got to protect the end zone. And if you do run the ball, then that's going to force you to run your own clock out. It's going to force you to use your timeouts. So I want you to run it. And that, see, all game we was trying to stop the run, and it's almost like they got stuck. Like maybe at some point you should have said, okay, go ahead and run it. We're going to back everybody off the ball, and we're going to team tackle him. We're going to put 4 linebackers in there. One can be a safety, and we're going to back out, and we're going to rush 3. And so you ain't getting the pressure anyway, and we're going to dare you to throw the quick slants and the drags you've been throwing. And if you throw a bomb, we got 2 safeties in deep, and we're going to dare you to be Shador, because you hang that ball in the air in and long, they're going to pick it off. So now you put that quarterback, he got to make a perfect throw. He just can't throw it in the air and see only 1 or 2 men back there going to come down with it. If you throw that ball in the air with the safety over top, that's a different thing. You put the safeties on the hash. You on the hash, you on the hash. Because that's what they were doing to Travis Hunter. I know. That, and they'll put that safety on the hash. He backed straight up looking at Travis. So that's what they should have did. They should have just backed everybody off the ball and say, go ahead and run it.
And look, the quarterback was injured. He had already had to go in the locker room.
Supposedly.
So he can't really run like how he normally would, or he could hurt himself even more. So force him to run. Force him to run. Let my linebackers hit it. I want to see what you got. I want to see what you made of.
I just think like
I just think they was in the wrong defense at the end. That last
I mean, I'm just thinking, just like we talking about, he taught strategy from an offensive side of using the clock against the other team. Now, when you get the ball back, because eventually you got to give it to him, because you got to go ahead and score. Now you at the point now you in defense. Your strategy should be, I got to protect the end zone. I'm not trying to stop you from running no more. I'm not trying to stop you from running, because clearly you ain't running. They lining the running back out on and receiver. They doing like, you know, they doing these old wheel routes. They showing you what they doing, because you should already know what they got to do from a strategy standpoint. You should already know them running the ball is not going to benefit them. It's going to run that clock down. They're going to have to use some timeouts.
So back up and make that quarterback run. Beat me. I want you to run the ball to beat us, because I know you hurt.
But the problem is this. Our philosophy was the whole game was we're going to make you beat us throwing the ball.
Right.
But the problem is they got stuck, because you should have been at the end of the game. That's no longer the issue.
Yeah, you got to switch
now
it up.
I want you to run the ball. I want you to run the ball, because when you run it and I stop you and you need to score, you have to start using your timeouts.
Right. Yeah, you're right, Greg.
Also, if I'm totally taking away the end zone from you, you're gonna have to run it in with 4 linebackers, or you're gonna have to make the perfect throw in a small window between that safety and that corner. Yeah, I'm gonna make you make that throw. I'm not just gonna give you no one-on-one. and man, your man might out after let, or my guy can slip. Anything can happen, and
Yeah.
there's nobody else back there. There's nobody else
Yeah.
back there.
You right. You right. So, Big Tiger, when you look at our offensive line,
Hey man.
what you think about that going into the Arizona game? Or
Don't
against?
hey, don't
I mean, to start up front, man.
get your people to jump on me, man. Look, we just talked
I
about
mean, no, it just. Oh man, we just talk football, bro. We ain't worried about all that. I'm just saying.
this is what we just talked about on my show. We just talked
When
about
you look at the offensive line, it's something missing on the offensive line. It looked like I know Shadua drop back a lot and he drop back deep, and he don't like to step up a lot. But still, the dude went 34 for 40. So I just can't blame that on him. Why they can't run block or the running back they was had in there was running to the wrong hole. So what you see? What you see?
we just
Tell me
talked
what you
about. I said it's two guys I want to see. Can they rotate them to see do we have another option on the bench? The center, I watched Coach Hayes show. He showed how the center getting pushed back like 5 yards into the backfield. That's why I should do it dropping back so deep, because he can't do his normal step back. Because if he do, you're gonna have a defensive lineman in your lap. Your offensive lineman gonna be in your lap. So he's stepping farther and farther back because there's so much pressure coming in. My man on the outside, I feel like we got to help him out and run some plays at that defense end, because those defense end, the Baylor game and this past game, that defense end just flying off the end. They
Yeah,
just
he ain't trying to do no containment or nothing. He ain't worried about the run or nothing.
yeah. So we got to run at him, or we got to put somebody else in there, and we got to chip. We got to have you always got to have a tight end or running back helping them chip every play.
Wow. So when you look at the matchup with this Arizona wide receiver, Mike Millen, which DB you think should go with? How should they cover him? You
Travis
ain't
should,
great.
Travis or DJ should be on him. DJ got the height. Travis got the athletic ability. And maybe Colton Hood. I don't
I
want to see.
think that's who I want to see on Coaching Hood.
Right,
I don't want to
just
see
pause on that.
on it.
So what, Greg?
Pause right there. Because maybe they watching. If Colton Hood was where Hodge was, that play wouldn't happen.
Oh no.
For two reasons. For two reasons. Colton Hood would have
Oh, Big Tiger. If Colton Hood was out there, that ball wouldn't have caught that ball.
Oh, you're right. 100%.
for two reasons.
Man. Colton Hood would have took that 15-yard penalty. Boy, I would have closed
This
mine.
would have happened. Colton Hood would have had his second pick of the game. Because this is what would have happened. Hodge was there.
Mm-hmm.
But Hodge was one step short. And he started windmilling off the guy hill. The ball stayed up in the air. Colton Hood is faster than Hodge.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach Hood would have jammed him off the line and
Exactly. That's the first thing. Coach Hood would have played him differently off the line, because you gonna be a man. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. What's your point of being up on him? You just gonna let him pass.
You ain't got no safe over top.
So he would have been more physical off the line.
Yeah.
Secondly, he would have ran that man down. He would have been step for step with that guy and probably get the ball quicker than that man, because Colton Hood is faster. It's the reason why they got Colton Hood on the kickoff return.
Right. So when I saw the Big Tiger video, and when he caught the ball, Hard just ran off the sideline on the other side. He didn't even try to run. Man, I said, this dude lazy or what?
No, when the boy caught the ball, Hodge was stumbling this way, and the boy actually came back to the ball and kept going that way, and Hodge was already fading towards the sideline.
Yeah.
Man.
That's why you know Colton Hood would have been in a different position, because the ball actually was thrown to the inside where the DB was.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't throw it to the back shoulder. He threw it to the inside. That's why the receiver came back and got it. So that means he really burnt, because if that DB was there, it would have been right there for the DB if the DB was really right there, but the DB was behind him.
Yeah.
So that's why Haas kept going that way off his heel, and the guy caught it and went that way. See, I'm telling y'all, I looked at it. It was like Hodge was like a step and a half behind him. Colton Hood would have been stride for stride. He probably would have outran him to the ball.
Look, we've been calling for Colton Hood since summer camp. We said summer camp, Colton Hood should have been the starter on the other side of Travis. But we were like, we understand he had more time, so we're gonna let the other guys play because he had more.
But you gotta have time to win. See, that's the problem. You don't have more time. He got more time for eligibility, and that can be at another school. But what you don't have time right now this season is to lose. So you can't not play somebody this year and lose for their eligibility next year. That he got more. You got to put the best player on the field in the situation. And it's a fact that he is Travis Hunter's backup. So why in the world Travis not in the game? He not in there.
No, he came in.
No, he wasn't in on that. That was Travis Hunter's spot where Hodge was at. Hodge supposed to have been out.
Right.
They had multiple DBs in there.
No, it was only two.
No, big time.
One on that island, one on that island.
Now, Greg was at the game.
Oh, it was the middle of the field wide open. Somebody told me Shiloh was back there. He must have been so out of the play that I didn't see him. Because all I saw was nothing but island. Everybody else was on the line. Somebody say Shiloh back there. He wasn't back there. He must have been closer up because it was nobody back there. I was looking at this like, really? Because I'm thinking, like we talking, I'm thinking we up 4 the clock because you got to look at the 2 previous plays. Even Shiloh came down to the line of scrimmage and rushed off the edge. And I'm like, I hope they just doing like some positionless type stuff and they're going to drop into coverage. They was rushing and they knocked the ball down. They knocked it down. And I was like, boy, they getting away. They playing Russian roulette because Shiloh was coming up to the edge outside of BJ Green rushing. And I'm like, why are they putting 7, 8, 9, 10 people on the line and only people coverage is the DBs? They was doing stuff like that. And then that I kid you not, that last play, I don't know if Shiloh was back or not, but he wasn't back deep. And even if he was back deep, the receivers all the way over there, he gonna get to either one of them, if not one of them. He wasn't gonna be able to get to him because it should have been 2 safeties back. Silman Craig should have been on a hash, Shiloh should have been on the hash, and forget the rush because they weren't getting to the quarterback.
He could not have been back deep because the guy walked into the end zone. He just trotted into the end zone.
Well, people saying that, but I didn't see it. So what I'm saying is, all I know is the receivers, they put both of them on the sideline. They both was outside the numbers. They weren't even trying to run no fade. They just did straight go ball. They didn't even really. He didn't have no room to throw the ball. If he had threw it to the left shoulder, would have been out of bounds. So he had to throw it to the inside. So that's how you know it was in favor for the DB if he could run, because he couldn't even back shoulder him because he did even out of bounds. That's how close they was to the sideline. They went on the numbers. So I'm like,
man, well, look, we just had this debate on my show, and I was saying Preston Hodge, he need to start sharing time. He don't need to play the whole game. He need to start sharing time because they saying he got the best grade outs. But I'm like, I done seen him get scored on too many times. Like, you might have the best grade out, but you get scored on the most. So we need to rotate you a little bit with Colton Hood.
But honestly, I saw this going on in Well Off when they first got there. Like, this guy's locked down corner. He's the best corner. He better than Travis. And I was seeing him in practice. I was like, maybe he just getting used to the elevation. Maybe he just break right now. Cause I was like, I'm not seeing no lockdown. Like from the clips I was seeing. Then once we got to like North Dakota State, Baylor, they was hitting him. Like Baylor, they bombed him. They bombed him and McKinney. The same exact plays that they did, them straight go routes, is how Baylor came back on us. They were just desperate. That quarterback couldn't throw either, right? He stepped back, throw it straight up, desperate. They dropped 2 of them in the end zone. So I already knew anybody who played Colorado going forward, they going to resort to that. Just like they was doing crossing routes last year. They know if all else fail, we're going to put our fast receiver out there and just throw them a go ball. Because they receive our DBs not showing speed. And they definitely not jamming them on the line. So my thing is, your fastest DB really is Colton Hood. It almost should be like, make them throw it to McKinney and away from Colton Hood. But if they keep throwing at Colton Hood, it's supposed to be pick city because you're not going to outrun him. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I'll put Colton Hood on McMillan before I put DJ McKinney.
I
Because
would
he's
too.
not fast. He's not fast. He's big.
Yeah.
And
Got
the
long
dude
arms.
will run past DJ.
But the
But
reason why
I
I
believe
said what
Coach
I
Hood can
said,
run with him.
because Travis gonna play and they're gonna have Colton on the bench. That's what's been going on.
But I'm saying, even when Travis come out, it's no reason in the world we should be bumping Hodge at the corner. He should stay strictly nickel. Strictly nickel.
Right. That's
Remember
what
people kept saying
that's where he needs to be at. Nickel.
corner. I remember they kept saying that when he came. I'm like, is he a corner or a nickel? I know he a DB, but is he a corner or a nickel? Because they kept saying he's the second best corner before he got there. Then when I saw him, that people still saying, I'm like, he don't look like no corner to me. He look like a nickel.
Yeah.
And let him be a nickel. Don't put him out there by himself, because every time they put him out there by himself, they burn him.
Yeah. Underneath, he good.
Right.
Over the top, he's not. That ain't what he need to do now.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he got burnt a lot of times in practice. We saw it like 5 times he got burnt.
Sure, Amarian, Miller, all them boys been toasting them up.
Yeah, they need to fix that, man. Going in that game, this must win game, huh, man. But Big Tiger, when you look at on the defensive side, why that dude got all them yards, man?
The running back.
Yeah, for Kansas State, why he get all them yards on us?
It's simple. Our D-line, they did not. It's certain rules to engagement. When you don't get blocked as a D lineman, you're supposed to shut it down. You're supposed to go, if the tackle blocked down, you're supposed to go right off his butt. They running upfield. Running upfield thinking they finna get a sack, and the linemen let them run upfield, and they ran right behind us.
So basically, you got a patient running back and you got impatient linemen. Again, you playing checkers and not chess, because at the end of the day, they really banking on you to be overly aggressive. They banking on your linebackers to be overly aggressive. He banking on Shiloh to be overly aggressive. He banking on all of them to over pursue. And his whole running style was skip to my Lou, skip to my Lou. He just shuffled. I used to love playing like that. Honestly, I used to tell running backs do that too, because I guess because I played defense, and I'm like, I did the same thing. When you talking about somebody coming vertical at you full speed, your best move is a lateral move, because you know he gonna run through the arm tackle, and that's what he was doing. And we said they're not tackling good. It's not that they weren't tackling good. They thought they was going to get a head-on shot, and at the last second, he just
he would give it to him. Yep.
And then next you know, you reaching, and he like, get that mess out of here. He running through your arm tackle. But that's a smart running back. How you think the Emmitt Smiths and the Barrett Sanders and them had longevity? They weren't running through nobody's mouth. They get you open field, they just doop. They just bouncing. That's why I say that's a pro. That's an old school pro. He ain't in the NFL like that now. He run like an old school running back.
He do. And I'm gonna say this right here too. I don't know what was going on with Bentley, but he should have not been in the game. He hurt.
Yeah, he hurt.
They ran 40. I think they ran 40-something plays, 40-something running plays, I think. And he only had one tackle.
Well,
he only had one tackle. That's all.
One tackle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, we had two Shilohs on the field.
One
was named Shiloh, and the other one, and Bentley was the other one. Because you got to think about it. I'm just gonna say it like this. I'm just gonna be Greg said it again. I'm just gonna say it like this. For all the people who want to be smart about football, they think they smart about football. Football is simple. It ain't your ESPN talk. This is what happens. Anytime, last year, this year, and forever, if you see the running game getting off like that, the first place you look is your linebackers. Not your D-line. Whole last year they complained about D-line, the D-line. It was the linebackers.
Yeah, you gotta have
because the linebacker job is to bag the line. You can't bag the line when you own the line.
That's true.
So why are you committed to a hole and the running back ain't there? We know why. We know how we know the running back ain't there? Because he running past you. He ain't running through you. He like meet, and he running. He like you in the wrong hole. That's the only way. You either gonna meet him in the hole, or you in the wrong hole. Or no hole at all.
So now you see
that simple.
Bentley had turf toe. He's not 100%. He can't get off his blocks. The D-line, they weren't taking on like the traps and stuff right. Like when the trap and all that, a counter coming at you, you got to go up under that block. They going over the block. You can't.
Ain't any person that could do that. He on the bench. That Webster.
Big Tiger. It wasn't his blocks. He created blocks.
No, I'm talking about
BWatts. You remember the clip I sent you?
Yeah.
He wasn't getting off. That was not his blocks. He made them his blocks.
He ran into him.
See, the linebacker job is to stay his butt back. Once you go down there and engage a lineman, now you trying to scrape down what they call you in the wash.
Yeah.
Your job ain't to be in the wash. That's Shadoze's job. That's Bourne's job. You only time you come down there is if the ball is there. If the ball was there, you'll be making the tackle. You wouldn't be interacting with no blocker. See, everybody keep talking about they messed up last year because they was getting to the second level. No, you was going to the first level. They wasn't coming to the second level. You down there on the first level playing patty cake. That's what I call patty cake. You down now, you got no business being down there, and the ball go right past you. Trevor Woods, you do it, Bentley do it. The hole right there, you down there. You shouldn't even be there. You supposed to be back there reading, boom. Reading, boom, boom. The only time you engage a lineman is he come to you. And if he come to you, he's at a disadvantage. Because he can't see behind him.
Now, I'm with you on that 100%, but I'm going to tell you, if you go watch Coach Hayes breakdown on this, and I want to do a breakdown on it, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
But they did it during the Central Florida game. And I said this. I said, if we take on these blocks the same way, our D-line, against Kansas, with that fast quarterback, with their good running backs, we're going to lose. Because they're not, like, when they run a counter, you got to get in front of the offensive lineman. They trying to go over top of the offensive lineman. When you do that, you create a big old lane. That's why Shallow and all them couldn't make no tackles, because the lane was so wide.
Highway to 5. Just like last year. That's what happened last year. That's why you think the safeties led in tackles last year?
Exactly.
And they made all the tackles 20 yards upfield.
Yeah.
And so I was at the UCF game too. And I'm going to tell you, and BWatts confirmed, I told them the linebackers was playing Russian roulette then. I said some of the plays look like they just run into the hole before the ball even snapped. They kept trying to predict the play. And half of the time it worked, and half of the time that ball went right in the next hole. I kept saying they need to read before they run because they guessing, they gambling. And I saw both of them like kamikaze. They were doing this. They just take off running at the hole as soon as it snapped. Snap. And sometimes they hit the right hole, and sometimes they run right because the linebacker already there. Nobody's scraping down the line. So if he break through that line, it's nobody at the second level. Nobody at the second level.
With Bentley, I said Bentley didn't know how to. When them guards pull, he did not know how to read it. Once them guards pull, he could not readjust. Because same thing you saying, he just shoot the gap instead of readjusting himself and sliding over. So it's a combination of Bentley not learning how to flow. But from what I seen last night in the game, not last week, and for the game, when them linemen pull, they were not taking on the lineman properly. Like one time, Green, he did like a stun or something. He was inside up by the center. They ran the ball right there. I mean, right here. Like, Green, why are you on the center, bro? You a DN. You never supposed to be behind the center. So if you don't keep your gap for the linebackers or the line, it make everybody else try to work harder. Now you're trying to play hero ball instead of team ball, and you're gonna lose.
I think sometimes that be they so-called strategy. Sometimes they be dropping the end of some of them linemen to the middle of the field. Yeah. But I also look at the fact that when I played linebacker, it's called a step shuffle for a reason. Linebackers are the only people on the field step shuffling. If you're not step shuffling, you ain't a linebacker. You're a lineman playing backer. Yeah, a linebacker step shuffle. What that means is 1 foot step, the other one shuffle. 1 step, shuffle. They
I
never
play like
touch.
with
They never cross. Step, shuffle. So both linebackers should be moved like a tightrope. Boom, 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 boom,
yeah,
boom.
like a
So it's
string.
never a lane because it should correlate from your initial alignment. Your initial alignment is you already in a gap. The mess people were saying last year, that's your gap. No, that's not your gap. You just align in that gap. Your job is to go to where the ball is. You can't say the ball over there, but I'm in my gap. You don't have no gap. You're a linebacker. But you align over a gap, so every gap is accounted for. So if they do run straight at you, then you're there because you line up over there. A lineman can seal you, and it's just a big lane right there. So you lined up in the gap. So initially, it's gonna be hard for that lineman to reach you if the ball was to come right at you. So if you line up wrong, it makes it easier for the lineman to come up and seal you, and there's nobody there. So now Sealman Craig got to have 14 tackles. Shiloh got to have 12. And you go, oh, we had a Sealman Craig. Why is he having double-digit tackles? So you already know something wrong when they like, we won, and Sealman Craig had 14 tackles and in the sack. And you like, what you really saying is Sealman Craig is saving your linebackers. And he was lining up as a linebacker. Sealman Craig was lining up in the box. So he's the linebacker. I said that weeks ago. He's the linebacker.
Yeah, he really like a wheel. He really like a wheel.
He outside linebacker.
Yeah, he a wheel. He a weak side. That's what he is. But and I said that. I said Sealman Craig, he saved 6 touchdowns against Central Florida. He saved us 6 times. I said, this ain't right. This is not right. This is not what you want right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think you designed the defense to do that?
No, I'm gonna make a video, man. I'm gonna show y'all. It started with the line. And you're 100% right, though. I played linebacker too. You right. The linebackers have to slide, and they can't get too far. They got to be able to get around the wash. But if your D lineman taking on these guards wrong when they start pulling, they got these big alleys, man. And Bentley, like I say, Bentley was hurt. We saw that at the game Central Florida when he couldn't run with that running back. He hurt. His toe hurt. Take him out.
Yeah, Greg, he said he saw it.
Well, I'm just saying, like I've had that turf toe. I didn't even know what it was called.
Yeah,
but that toe with the ball of your big toe, when that bone at the ball of your big toe, when you feel you running on that thing, it's like something that
like something tapping you,
like that bone that's sensitive, and you like you running on. You can't plant, you can't do that. It's like you don't have a big toe because you're trying to run on the outside of your feet because it hurt to run on your big toe. I had it for years. I ain't know what it was called. You know what that is? Some bad cleats.
Yeah.
No,
we thought it was.
And you know what else? I didn't know what it was. But you know what it is? It's that bone. It's the same thing that'll make you get a bunion. It's the same thing that Coach Brian ended up having when your toe start turning. You're gonna have to get somebody a deep massage. You're gonna have to tie him down, put a ball in his mouth, and they gotta push that thing out. It hurts so bad. It's a knot. You gotta dig in that thing and push that out. That's the only way you're gonna fix it.
But you know that's what hurt Coach Prime. That's what made him retire. And that's what made Shaq retire.
His whole foot started turning. I seen a guy, MMA fighter or something on YouTube. His toes was turning like Coach Prime, and they thought it needed surgery. And he got a guy, and he turned red as your shirt. They tied him down, and they pushed that toe straight back up within a session. But they had to, because it's a muscle. The muscle don't got so bad, it turned the toe. It's not the bone, and it could be like a bunion. That thing will turn because the muscle. You got to push that muscle, and it'll turn back straight. It's a muscle, but it hurt. It's like, man, it's horrible. So that's the only way you're gonna fix it.
So, Big Tiger, what's the keys to going into Arizona? What Colorado need to do to win?
We can't let that quarterback and that wide receiver start getting hot. And we let them, everybody that done shut them boys down, done beat them. When we let them boys get hot, hey, it's gonna be a long day.
Wow.
Yeah, and we can't let the wide receiver that beat us last year too, that transferred from Colorado, I think his name Lamonius Craig. We can't let him have yards on us either, like how he did last year. We can't let that quarterback get in a rhythm. That's the main thing.
Well, that's gonna be evolved around not getting pressure on him, and I think probably the other teams got better pressure on them, but also you can't have slow starts. Everybody who beat them blew them away with fast starts. Except BYU kind of played with them the first half, and then they just stepped on the gas. But so that means they vulnerable to the big play. But you can't have no slow start where you only score 7 points in the first half and stuff like that. You get anybody hope to beat you. You just gotta step on them. You can step on them because they really one dimensional because he preferred to go to 4. Just like last year when we played the same team. And if you shut 4 down,
what they had last year, they had that running back. The running back transferred to Washington. So now, like we couldn't really stop that running back last year. Now, since they don't have that, they got to keep going to 4. And I don't know, that game he had them 300 yards. That team won't even cover him. I don't know what they were doing. They would.
Yeah, I said, man, when I saw that, man, I said 300. What the world they would do?
Yeah, they were playing a zone and he was running through the zone wide open. I'm like, what's going on here? So I don't know, man. If we get embarrassed by the team, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna break a lot of people's heart.
I don't think they're gonna get embarrassed. I think the biggest issue they got, and Greg finna said, they got an issue they're gonna beat Arizona pretty decently. And everybody gonna be like, "Whoo, we back. We UCF buffs. We daytime buffs." And they're gonna go back to that 10-15 game.
And we gotta win out. We got to win every game from here on out to hope to.
Because Cincinnati, we thought it was a sorry team. Cincinnati only got like 1 loss too. And so you got to think about it. Ain't no easy games left as what we thought. We thought Cincinnati was going to be something to play with. With the teams we thought were going to be something like Oklahoma State and Kansas, they kind of went down. But these Cincinnatis and Texas Techs are kind of hanging around, and we can't quite gauge them because Texas Tech almost got beat like by a D2 team the first game, went overtime. And then ever since then, at least by their record, they beat Arizona. It looked like, oh, shucks. Now you got to go down there and play them there. And they may be undefeated. They may be undefeated.
They play crazy in their house. You don't know what you're going to get. You go down
there. They be throwing taco shells at the players on the sideline.
Down where?
It's crazy down there.
Wow.
That's why I'm going to beat Oregon last year down there.
Come on, Texas Tech.
They gave them the game. They had Oregon beat.
Dog, boy.
But I'm just saying, I'm looking at really. I ain't seen Cincinnati play, but I know I wouldn't be surprised this not their last 10-15 game. They might go to Texas Tech and be like 10-15.
Hey, Cincinnati back. They got their big boy back. They had a big D lineman. He supposed to be one of the best linemen in the conference. And he had some kind of issue with it. I don't know if it's a liver or a kidney or something he had at the beginning of the season. But he back now. And he put that smack down on Central Florida. He a big boy too. I'm talking about you big, hey, you look like I ain't gonna say the refrigerator Perry, but you won't miss him. You will not miss him. I'm gonna tell you that.
Darn, man. So Coach Brown said he gonna let Isaiah start at running back. You think he's gonna make a difference? They got to give him, but they got to let him get. I mean, you can name him all you want, but they still got to let him run. Give him some rushes.
Hey,
Pat Sherman got to call the plays for him so he can run.
Yeah, hey, it should have been that all year. To me, I like Welch. I like Welch now, but the most complete back, the fastest back on our team, the back with the best hands, is AI. It's him. He the one.
And you know who right behind him?
Who, Welch? Who?
Somebody who ain't played yet.
Oh,
yeah. The other Hood.
Yeah.
You know him. That was him and Augusta running.
The best
that
one.
was him and Augusta running.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. And see,
he better didn't beat him
by an inch.
I thought Hood was the fastest. So, but
I saw him when he played in up there in McDonald.
But they both ran track. You remember we kept saying we had 2 running backs that ran the 10-7. They both ran the 10-7. So we already knew they were between them two. But just look at the build. One long and one. So that's your Welch. Your Welch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he big guy.
I think he read a little better than them as a running back. I think he read a little better. But that he looked like one of them guys they keep preserving. Like y'all said, they preserving his brother. What did you preserve him for? Because they can both dip. They both can dip, and they're gonna dip holding hands.
See, I don't understand.
Yeah, you crazy, man. He crazy that they go dip holding hands.
They leaving together.
Look, if Welch would have got the carries that Dylan Edwards got last year, man, we'll be singing a different tune right now. They gave the ball to Dylan all the time. third and short, all the time they get the ball to Dylan. We got these big backs. They won't get the ball to him. Like, what's going on? Y'all tell me that. They get the ball to Charlie on 4th and 1, 3rd and 2. They just get the ball to Hayden a whole bunch of times on 3rd and 2. Why aren't we giving the ball to our big backs on short yard situation?
Like I said, it's a personnel decision. That's the coach. That's them coaches, man.
I'm gonna tell you this. Augusta is our what's that boy name at KSU? Giddens.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it.
Let's say, man, when you see him run, he's strong. And he fast and he's strong. He really could be a problem. And I thought they figured it out by UCF. He really could be a problem, like for real. Like, cause he don't go down on the first contact either. If he get ahead of steam going, he kind of I ain't gonna say, but he kind of got an Adrian Peterson style.
Yeah, he got
he's not as big and strong. Huh?
I said Porters. Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ricky.
that's a little bad. Yeah, I remember back to San Francisco.
Yeah. He was tall. He could he could run. He
might have a good point there.
But that boy there, he's strong, man. He don't really go down on the first, and and he fast. So to me, he should have always been getting, because he's the biggest home run threat that's playing right now. Because if he get an open field, he gonna make some runs that the other ones ain't gonna make. And we kind of seen that. We saw flashes of it, coming up into this game. And he run hungry. He runs different. He run, and Hood runs like that too, honestly. They run like madmen.
Yeah.
They run like every time they touch the ball, they trying to score.
Right.
Welch them don't look like that. Welch them look like I'll score if I can. The other two, boy, they run like every time they touch the ball, they trying to score. And maybe you mix it up.
I mean, if you look at their stats, Welch and Augustus are almost the same guy when it comes to stats. Like, you look at their numbers, they're almost the same dude.
Who?
Welch and Augustus, they almost the same guy. You look at their stats, same amount of carries, same amount of yards, almost same amount of touchdowns.
Because they distributing it like that. It's almost like they trying to be like Kumbaya, like everybody get the same amount, like everybody.
They ran the ball 10 times last game, bro.
It's like they distributing it like that. They really seem like it ain't like they really going off the hot hand. It's almost like, all right, you get 2, okay, let him come get 2, okay, let him get too many.
They gave Hayden the ball the most. His stats don't look like their stats. He averaging like 3 yards a carry. Welch and Augustus, they averaging like 4.8, 4.7, something like that.
Yeah, but I just think that by now I think AI should be running back number 1. I think I don't know what else can you say. They say he gonna start this week because that's really what they saying. But he really been. If anybody that know football been watching this, we saw in Central Florida, he popped off the screen. So it's like just he runs harder, and he look like if they mess around and miss a tackle, look out. Look out, because he running so hard.
Y'all help me with this right here. I don't like this right here. And I'm gonna take a shot at Prime. I don't like this right here.
Oh,
there you go.
Big time. What you say? You been taking a shot at who? Brian. What? Time.
Why you don't know their name, man? He also we gonna get the start this week. Why you don't know this man's name?
He might know the name. He just might what he call him. He just might call him.
No, Prime be messing up with their name, man. Prime.
I'm saying, but I can't say he don't know the name. He just might call him that.
Man, Prime did Savion Wilkinson the same way. He was like 36. Like he don't know their name, man.
Big time, you crazy, man.
Craig.
You know that man know his name, man.
What's my man Craig? I messed his name up.
Young Craig.
Yeah, Prime like, you got a hard name to say. I'm like, Prime, man, you gotta know their name, man. You gotta know your player's name, Prime. Come on, dog. You with them every day, dog.
I don't care about him knowing the name. I don't care about him knowing the name. I didn't want the right one in the game.
I mean,
that's what I care.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have
get in that 36
in the game if you don't know their name, because you gotta tell them, hey, I want this dude in the game.
I want 36 in the game.
No.
23. Get 23 in. Get 23 in.
Well, y'all
Man,
crazy, man.
when they sitting at lunch, they supposed to be having these conversations, man. He supposed to know their name, man.
Well, he sit at the coach table.
He got to know their name, bro.
Well, y'all crazy, man. So how should do it? How should do it been performing so far to you, Big Ty? You think he's the best quarterback in college
Now,
football right now?
look, let me say this. Shadua has did a phenomenal job. Shadua has made some unbelievable throws almost every game. He made unbelievable throws. Shadua is having issue with the offensive line, so he's under a lot of pressure that I can't even fathom. He's playing on an elite level. The only thing I want Shadua to do is take what they give him. If you go back and look at the tape, and when he take what they give him, they score. A lot of little short 5-yard, 2-yard throws, they turn them things into touchdowns. He just got to throw it. He want to push it downfield, but he don't necessarily have to do that. He got the dogs that can break short plays.
I think that one thing I don't see every week we talk about the running backs wide open. You would think they would scheme for it to be his bailout instead of spinning around because they don't be covering his running backs.
They don't.
Cause I guess they figure he ain't gonna throw it. And
and
rightfully so. They be so enamored by the receivers and Shador escaping the pocket that he really need to take advantage of the running backs. Kind of like they're sitting in the pockets, especially if they call themselves watching film and reading defenses. The running back, even if it's a choice route type thing, he just need to find the hole. He just need to find the hole. And when you line up, you already know where the hole is. You really do.
Right here, I'll be fine with this if we don't run the ball. But if our running backs catch 7 balls a game, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, they don't. And then I know another thing what Shador do. Shador, they'll be open and he'll pump, and then throw it to him, and then somebody be on their back. And I'm thinking like, if he had went on and threw it, the running back could have had a chance to catch the ball and make him miss. But he'd be so hesitant to throw it, like he's so ready to throw it. So I'm gonna answer your question about Shador. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I ever said this before, but I feel like I wanted Shador to prove something last week because I really was tired of them disrespecting him. But I'm gonna be real with you. As long as Shador, as long as he had that over his head where he taking sacks and going alignment, but half of them on him, was probably half of them this season on him, and they say he's not stepping up in the pocket. He gonna always give people a way to minimize him. They gonna minimize him and say he's not ready for the next level because that ain't gonna work at the next level. You're not gonna be able to do all that spinning around and taking 20-yard sacks. Them pro fans ain't gonna take that. And you're not gonna be able to always make up for 3rd and 40. You're not gonna always be able to do that in the pros because they gonna scheme the mess out of your behind.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be able to, your receivers ain't gonna be able to Travis Hunter them to death and take advantage of the ignorance of a college player when you're going against pros and pro bowlers. So he got to get that mess fixed now. Like, step up in the pocket. You got to step up and be ready to run. Step your butt up and be ready to run. Because like BWatts said earlier, them boys coming way upfield.
yeah.
He dropping that, but the typical quarterback who dropped back just a little bit, the way them guys rushing off the edge, they will outrun the quarterback every time. But because Shador dropping back so deep and ready to spin, it's almost like they looking to contain him. So they'll stay deep and wide with the hopes that he spin into him because they know he ain't stepping up. Because really, even though Hank getting pushed back 5 yards in the backfield, Shador dropping back 20. So it's like, even if he step up in the pocket, he still got a lot of room. So he can't use the excuse the guy getting pushed in your lap. That would be true if you was doing a 7-yard drop. But you dropping back 15 yards, technically, you don't create a narrow pocket. See, your pocket look long because they coming like this, and now your pocket, your lineman can't really push them wide because of the angle that they coming off the edge. All
Yep.
Shador pockets look like a T instead
Yeah.
of a U.
Mhm.
U. But because
Right.
he dropped that so deep and the way they coming, it looked like a T. So he really give him the illusion that he don't have a pocket.
Well, it's hard because I sit there and I look at it. When Shador does have a pocket, he do a great job.
They do.
When
They do.
they do whatever they do, he try to make the magic happen. And I was kind of critical on him about dropping back so far until I looked at the tape, and that center getting pushed back 5 yards into the backfield.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I said,
Yeah,
wow.
but he dropping back 15. So my thing is when he do get sacked, it's a 15-yard loss versus you get sacked a 5-yard loss. My thing is this.
Who
Now,
else they put that center though?
when Shador is at his best when they got a real route tree. He got some short options, some intermediate options, deep options. That's when he most dangerous. Because the reason they didn't get to him in like UCF and other games, because he was nickel and diming. They used to say that about him at Jackson State. Shador, all he do is ding and dump, ding and dump. He don't throw the deep ball worth from that, ding and dump. But that's how he would beat the mess out of folks. And when you look at his best games, he ding and dump you and lure you in and he hit you over top.
Exactly.
That's Shador at his best. Not Shador dropping 15 yards and throwing 40-yard bombs. He's at his best when he ding and dump, then he catch you slipping. Because your safety's going to be thinking, I got to come up and help make these tackles. Because you give Jimmy Horn, LeJounte Russell the ball, 5-10 yards off the ball, and that safety wave back there. You see how they'll turn up field and score. You see how they do. If you get them the ball in space, they'll make your man look like he's standing still. Yeah. So once you do that to them enough, that safety gonna have to do like how we did. Come out and help the run. He gonna let me get down here so I can get to this guy by the time he catch the ball, so he don't run past me. And then that's when you catch, like you saw Will Shepherd on the post right across the middle of the field. It was no underneath help. You notice it was no underneath help, no safety help. It was just a cornerback on his back because they had to come up and help support all them crossing routes and stuff. See, that's when Shador is at his best. Exactly. And like I said, they should watch enough film. They got enough analysts to know that. I ain't.
This is what I think they could change to help Shador out. Make the running back, instead of the running back going out, time to play start. Because when he go out, time to play start, Shador won't throw to him. We know this. So let the running back stay, help Chip on that right, with the right guard, and then release.
Like just find a hole.
Huh?
Just find a hole. Because you got to think, if everybody blitzing, by the time you come off your block, you know you're going to be open in the flats or you're going to be open in the middle. So it should be like a choice route. Find a hole. If the whole house gone, they go sit in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I say he should do this. Whatever way Shador running to, just run in front of their face. Like if he roll to the left, run in front of the face to the left. If he roll to the right, leak out to the right.
Because my only thing is this. If they got a linebacker that's shadowing Shador, that running back can expose it. This is why. Because if Shador drop back and Shador start to roll and that linebacker roll, then that running back just replace that linebacker.
Yeah.
Or if it is no linebacker, if they all coming, Shador just dump it almost like a screen without the line. You just dump it right over their head to the running back who's sitting where the linebacker's supposed to be if they bring the house. If the linebacker sit and wait, that running back can just drift out there in the flats. It's going to always be open because Tennessee, the linebacker, never chase that running back to the flats.
Right.
They be watching Shador. They be making sure Shador don't take off running. They don't even look at him. I noticed at the games I went to, and even the games I watched, they don't even look. They don't even turn their head. The running back just drift right out down the flats, and they just be like, they don't even look at him. Nebraska didn't even do
it. And that's why I say I feel like the running back need to run right in front of Shador's face. I think when Shador starts scrambling, I think he get tunnel vision. I think he only see Travis. I think he only look for Travis when he starts scrambling. That's how I feel. So the running back got to wait and creep out. So now he'll see him. Because he don't go back. He don't never really go back to his check downs once he starts scrambling.
And I told you, when the running back be open, it's almost be like, no, I want something bigger. And then he'll wait, and then he'll throw it at the last minute, and then the running back catch it and somebody on him. and he might get 4 or 5 yards. But if he had got that ball to that running back quicker, that running back could get the first down. You wait until everybody knows that, oh, the running back out there. Go ahead and throw it to the running back.
Oh, y'all tell me this. What happened to Smalls last week? Why he wasn't in the game plan?
I mean,
he missed a lot of blocks on that last game.
Central Florida?
Yeah.
No, he did good Central Florida. We had a good running day.
He missed a lot of blocks too.
He did.
We had a good game. He missed a lot of blocks, bro. Go back and watch.
I'm not going because I did.
I'm being.
He did.
Yeah.
Go back and check. You talking about the Central Florida game or the Kansas game?
He missed a lot of blocks in the Kansas game too. Kansas State game too.
You know who we missing? Now you talk about coaching decisions, and I felt like I don't know what was going on behind the scene. We missing that Mikey. That Mikey last year. We want a traditional tight end where you still don't have one. But one thing he lined up at tight end. You need somebody like that.
But Mikey can't block.
Yeah,
he's complaining about Smalls can't block either, but at least Mikey
he missed a lot of blocks, man. Go back and watch it, Big Tiger.
But you got to do one or the other. You can't not block and can't catch.
Y'all remember that Hayden had last game when he just shot through the hole? That was Small that created.
That was Small. That's on that one time.
And look at the scheme. That's not a straight up scheme. That's like put him in motion, kind of crack back scheme.
Yeah.
That ain't a straight up blocking, straight up. Sam Hart. I don't know. We're not using him right, but what I'm saying is, I feel like honestly, we could have turned one of them big quarterbacks over there wasting time on the pine, like Big Wade, and turn his butt into a tight end. He athletic, he's strong, he aggressive, and man, I would have turned him into a tight end, and man, he would have been. Because he aggressive, you know what I'm saying? He's strong, he aggressive. He could have put on a little weight, and man, we got to get somebody who can be a threat as a tight end.
Well, we got 2 dudes coming in, 2 rookies coming in. That's nice.
I'm talking about this year.
No, we talking about this year. Everybody keep worrying about next year. Now we gonna win this year.
Hart look good. They just ain't get it. Have y'all seen Hart in the game at tight end?
Yeah, but they ain't throwing him the ball. He been in there.
H-back. I ain't seen him at tight end.
I mean, that's how they use their tight ends.
You know what I'm saying? We can't make that man. That man done played tight end their whole life. Now he playing H-back. We can't expect.
That's how they use the tight ends. They line them up back there. They line them up on the line. But my thing is, I'm talking about a real Shannon Sharp type threat.
We had that.
I don't care how great you block, but doggone it, you get in the middle of the field.
Dog, we had that, and they ran him off. They said he had to block.
That's what I'm saying. They should have kept that boy or somebody like him, because I'm saying they ain't paying attention to our tight ends. Because think about it. You can't pay attention to the tight ends and Travis and Jimmy and LeJohn. So somebody finna be open in the middle of that field. And we talking about why Shador ain't got no check downs. That's the point. If you got somebody who's sitting there block 1,000, 2,000, and he go and leak into a little hole in the field that can catch and run, we wouldn't need the running back to go out the backfield. We just let him block.
See, I don't understand this right here. They said the reason why Buddy couldn't play because he wouldn't block. Hell, y'all don't plan on running the ball? No way. Why we ran him off when you know that wasn't your game plan to run the ball? No way.
He was producing. We had scholarships to give away.
I'm talking about the first guy, not Mikey, the guy that came from like Arkansas State.
Yeah, he came after Mikey.
No, but he was there. He supposed to be a starter. He was doing good at practice, everything.
Right.
And they were like, he's not gonna play because he's not blocking.
Right.
But y'all don't even run the ball. You want to pass catch tight end. That's what you really want, because you want to throw the ball.
Right. And as long as he's producing.
But they ran him off though. He got ran. Remember he did the post about the cricket smiles. He was like cricket smiles.
Yeah, he was from England. He was from over there in the UK.
Yeah. So I didn't understand that. That right there threw me for a loop because when the season started, now you got to put Mikey at tight end. That's a wide receiver. He can't block at all, and he's not as athletic as the guy that left.
But they favored Mikey. And also you got to look at the fact that, and see, Mikey was one of them guys that they could play. That was already there. So they was looking for guys who, what they call the OGs, the original buffs. They wanted somebody like that could play. That's why Trevor Woods played, because you didn't want to get rid of everybody. Now see people talking about Mateo. Mateo came the next season, from this Cincinnati, and he had the same little thing. Oh, you can't block. But Mateo supposed to been fast and big. He supposed to been fast and big. So I think we better off, like you said, if we throwing the ball, we better off with a fast and big tight end who can get out there and act like he gonna block, and at least make the end or the linebacker have to watch him. Because he can't block, but he can go catch the ball. So somebody gonna have to cover him instead of blitz. You see what I'm saying? So that's like blocking.
Yeah, that is.
Because if he keep releasing upfield, all right, throw it right to Mateo. Boom. Look like a screen. Because somebody got to stay over there with the guy who's a threat as a receiver. You can't blitz everybody and lead the tight end, but you ain't got to worry about the tight end if he gonna go catch the ball.
That's true.
Yeah, right. You're right.
But been doing good catching. He done got like 4 first downs.
Ooh, but he run real slow.
But he getting first down though.
No, I'm saying like if he was a runner, there would have been touchdowns. Like Mikey would have took them to the house.
I ain't gonna say that. I
seen him catch an out loud. He was like, like little engine that could.
Got the first down, dog.
I think I can. It was a 4-yard out. He got the first down, but if he had, because nobody ain't there. It's just him and the linebacker. Linebacker left the cover of your tight end.
Taking first downs, you will score a touchdown.
No, I'm saying like it's proof is in the pudding. When we had a receiver who can run and catch, he scored on as many touchdowns as our receivers. Because nobody ain't checking for him. But if you got a guy who they can let catch the ball and then take off running, he not that fast, he's not no big play threat. He's not a big play threat. Mikey was a big play threat.
That's
true. Just getting first down, he was getting touchdowns.
He blocked better than Mikey though. Mikey was getting pushed in the backfield. I mean, one time Mikey got pushed into the running back lap. I was like, dang.
Well, that's why you got both of them. When you want to run the ball, you ain't throwing it, then you put the blocker in, and every now and then throw him a ball. But when you get Mikey in, they should be,
They can do that with Baby T.O.
Yeah, I always said he should have been a tight end because somebody needs to be that Shannon Sharp style tight end, that hybrid, which they had. And they look down on it like, well, we need a real tight end. No, with the type of offense you got, you need a Shannon Sharp tight end. I didn't even know Shannon Sharp was only like 225. Yeah. I thought he was 240. He was 225, 230, just like these boys. That ain't no true tight end. That's somebody who line up at tight end, but they can be an actual receiver threat. This type of offense needs the type of tight end who can line up at tight end, and he's blocking by somebody can't blitz because they got to watch him. So that's blocking. Because if he ain't a threat, now they can bring that person. Mm-hmm. And now he get pushed in the backfield and look like he can't block. But if I got him out there looking like he gonna block running a route, now one of them edge rushers or one of them outside backers got to stay and watch him because he can release at any time.
That's true.
Take pressure off the quarterback too. And that's what helped last year. Because after a while, they realized Mikey gonna catch the ball. Mikey gonna score. So now you got to look at the fact that it don't matter if he can block. Because now he's a pass threat. Or like he's saying here, if you just really gonna do it, you really won't do it, go put in another lineman.
Yeah.
That's what I'd rather do. They're gonna put in another lineman.
That's only gonna be in like short yardage and goal line type situations. They're not gonna be on 3rd and 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Big Time, what do you think about Travis on his way back from the injury, bro? Think he should just play on offense or just the defense or play both?
Honestly, it depends on what was his injury. I don't know what his injury really was.
His shoulder?
Because I seen him that shoulder 3 different games now. The Baylor game, and he was playing with that shoulder doing a central forward at the end of the game, and he got hurt. He got rolled up on. And at the very end, when Craig scored that touchdown.
Who, Travis?
Travis hurt his shoulder again then. So this is the third time
he hurt his knee. He had that knee brace on. They rolled
he hurt his knee at the UCF game.
Okay, I thought that was
on the back of his leg.
Right.
At the end of the game.
Okay.
He had a knee brace on in practice all week.
Right.
It depends on how bad the shoulder is, because if it's a shoulder where it's hard for you to lift, you got to have a shoulder brace on. Playing wide receiver, you can't lift your arm off your head if you got a shoulder brace on. So it wouldn't be good for him to play wide receiver if he have a brace on. If he don't have a brace on, yeah, you can play wide receiver.
I'm gonna tell y'all
on defense more than you can on offense.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all why Travis hurt his shoulder. I want y'all to go look at Travis, like especially look at his Instagram. I mean, not his Instagram. Look at his YouTube channel. Travis' shoulder pads sit on top of his shoulder. His whole shoulder is out. So they too cute. They don't cover their knees with knee pads. They don't have no thigh pad. And then you got a little bit of shoulder pads on, and his shoulder pads sit on top of his shoulder. His whole shoulder is out. So when he ducked down, that man helmet, it hit his shoulder. If his shoulder pads was that, it would have hit his shoulder pad. You don't lower your shoulder and not have shoulder pads on. See, they're not thinking about stuff like that. Like you can have some lightweight shoulder pads that actually go all the way down over your shoulder. There's no need for your shoulder pads to sit up on top of your shoulder, because they only cover his traps. They're not covering his shoulder. They cover your traps. So when you lower your shoulder and you ain't got nothing right there, anything can happen. Anything can happen, because that bone, that's muscle to a helmet to a face mask, and that's what happened. It's not that the injury was gruesome, because he really didn't hit him that hard. It was just that shoulder had no protection. It was all shoulder on the helmet, and he probably got a little stinger or something like that.
That's what I thought it was, a stinger. That's what
they say dislocated, but it's like it could have been dislocated, because you got to think about it. Your shoulder took all of it. Because you lowered your shoulder, but you ain't got nothing on it. Yeah.
But them offensive guys, they always think about speed. They think about the less I have on, the faster I am. I'm like, but when you get caught, you're going to pass some pass on.
Yeah. Wow.
And if a clown don't know nothing about no football, because I just told you where to look. If you look at his content, you will see when he put his uniform on. But a clown don't know nothing about no football. They don't pay attention to stuff like that. See, it's the difference between talking football and having common sense and actually played the game. You got shoulder pads on for a reason.
Yeah.
Only a doofus will say, well, that don't matter, because you got shoulder pads and a helmet on for a reason. You got thigh pads and knee pads on for a reason. We had hip and butt pads. It's one for design. Their pads cover a certain part. And if you mess around and get hit in the butt without a butt pad, you're silly behind a seat while you're supposed to have a butt pad on. Or you can say, well, it never happened before, but eventually somebody gonna hit you in your tailbone, and you ain't gonna be able to walk for a week.
Look, I had a close up on the quarterback from Florida State. He got his knee pads all up over his knee, all his knees showing. I said, see there, I can't trust his decision making. You leaving all your knees exposed. You got D linemen coming in, hitting quarterbacks in the knees and everything, and you gonna take your knee pads up and tuck them up so you can look cute. But hey,
they cover their bodies less and less. Because I remember when we played, the pants start stopping right above the knee, and they say, hey, roll your knee down, put your knee pads on. They start making up a little half a knee pad. Yeah, then we had the thigh pads on. They will take the hard part out the thigh pad and just put the hard part in and take it out the cushion. I'm like, the hard pad is in the cushion for a reason, but they put the thin little part on just to say we got thigh pads on. That was the DBs, though. The DBs were doing that. Then they start unbuckling their helmet, and they wonder why every time they made a tackle, the helmet was on the other side of the field. You know what I'm saying? They doing this little weird stuff, not wearing mouthpieces. Wearing 3 mouthpieces, now one of them in their mouth. Like, who wants to run in a mouthpiece flap? I ain't never wanted mouthpiece flap. Like, why you got a mouthpiece on for? They doing crazy crap. So
Hey, that's what
you get hurt
man.
like that.
Hey, follow the leader.
Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get up there. I gotta be at work at 4. So in the morning.
Yeah, I got you, man. Y'all be good, man. It was nice being on with y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate you, big dog. Greg, appreciate you, man. Y'all have a good night, bro.
All right.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, partner.
I just want to tell everybody, you know, we get a lot of flack about me being in the portal and all right now. We've got 3 freshmen on offense that's contributing. We got Jordan Seaton, Michael Welch, and Draylon Miller. So don't let anybody out there tell you we're not recruiting high school players. We're recruiting elite high school players to come here because we're looking for guys that can play immediately. We're not looking for guys to come here in red shirt and sit on the bench and play. We're looking for guys to come here and play now.
Run to the fire! Let's go up front! We need y'all! Let's go! Hey, we talked about it in Nebraska. You don't want to be the little brother no more. You want to show all these motherfuckers what we're about. Right? Let's go 3 and out right here. We'll score again, and we'll be down the rest of the night. This is where you show them who you are. Here we go. Oh, shit! Yeah! Let's go!
Watching sports stuff with BWatts Entertainment. I'm your host, Bernard Watt.
Wizard.